Hello, ladies and jelly spoons. Welcome to 24K movies, TV shows, and video game reviews. The place where our viewpoints are not sponsored, they're not bought, they're not paid for, and we tell it to you real. If it's great, 2 thumbs up. If it's down, we throw it in the trash, where it belongs, rightly so. And ladies and gentlemen, I've watched a few films, TV shows, and movies, and heard some songs lately, and I got something to say. What am I talking about today? None other than 2025's brand new summer blockbuster. That's not me, that's what they wrote. Drop. That's right, that summer Blumhouse Pictures from the producers of Megan, Platinum Dunes, and the producers of A Quiet Place, and the director of Happy Death Day. That's right, ladies and jelly spoons, they said it. That summer blockbuster. Now, if you're asking yourself, I ain't even hear of that, you're amongst the lucky majority of people who haven't. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before I even begin with the review of this movie, I just want to say, Drop 2025 is a product and a great example of what's wrong with everything in the movie industry today. Having said that, no disrespect to the cinematographer, great shooting, great locations, great ideas. No disrespect to the off-brand Josh Hartnett being the main protagonist in this, and no disrespect to the main actress, which is an off-brand Leslie Mann, being the other protagonist, the main female lead in said movie. Having said that, this movie isn't exactly as clever as it thought it was. And here's the crazy part. For the 11 billionth time, this is another movie that I could predict everything that was going to happen from moment to moment the entire movie. All the things that you thought were suspense, no suspense. All the things you thought were going to be that twist of intriguing, no. See through you, I can, to quote Yoda. And if this is from the producers of Megan, A Quiet Place, and Happy Death Day, boy, things have declined. Because, look, no disrespect to the actors, actresses involved on this project. And there were times that I could clearly see where this movie wanted to go. But the problem is, this is 2025. And we've seen thousands and hundreds of thousands of movies, if not millions. So the plot to your story, where there's a phone call telling you to do things and confess certain things and forcing you to confront your past and trauma, I'm certain I've heard of that somewhere before. Oh, could that have been with Kiefer Sutherland, Colin Farrell, and a movie called Phone Booth? Nah, yours is much different, much different. You know what? Before I start going into my breakdown for Drop, let me drop the trailer on you. Pun intended. So sit back, I'll unpack it after you watch the trailer. Hopefully the trailer does more justice than the movie did to my eyes, my stomach, and my soul. Let's go look at the trailer.
Oh, did you mean the dress at the candy cane? I don't think I should go. He's been waiting patiently to meet you for months. It's just a date. I love you. Thank you. Have fun. Bye. It's just a date. Who didn't ask for feet pics?
It's a second date thing. Are you okay?
Somebody sent me this.
It's just dumb kids trying to mess with you.
That's weird.
I mean, who do you think it is?
Oh, I don't know.
We can figure this out. You gotta be within 50 feet to send and drop. So, it's someone in the restaurant.
I'll be right back.
What's your emergency?
You need help? Please. What do you want from me? I can't do that. I'll kill you if you hurt my son. Why him? Why does he have to die? Run! They chose me for a reason.
Shot at tequila, never kill anybody, right?
So, how's this date going?
Welcome back. Now, if you said to yourself, hey, that seemed like a halfway decent trailer, I thought so too. Now, it's time to get down to business. So, if you don't want spoilers for this movie, and believe me, you want spoilers, chuck away, look away, walk away, run away in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You've been warned. Now let's talk about the plot of this movie, because there's several, but let's just pick the main two. One, there's a woman on a date, a blind date, from an app, you know, because this entire movie wants you to believe that techie and cell phones, by the way, the two major cell phones are not represented in here. The two major cell phone brands are not represented in here. You will not see any Droid. You will not see any Apple. Sorry, not represented in here. One plot is revolves around this woman who's been abused. She's had a bad relationship. They flash back to it periodically to let you know, what went down that night, which is a red herring because they want you to believe that that influences everything that happens in this movie, which it does not. To which she gets a BP drop, not an Apple drop, because it's not an Apple movie with not Apple products. Most popular cell phone brands in the world, don't have it in this movie. So anyway, she gets a BP drop that someone's in your house. They're going to hurt your son unless you do the task, I beseech you. Where have we seen that before? I know, that's so ingenious and brand new and fresh, but it is because this one is all told through the eyes of a cell phone. And that is where inherently the rub lies. Because every time you hear a buzz like you heard in the trailer, she gets a text message. Now, I don't know about how you guys work with text messages, and I work with text messages because we've all had about a couple billion text messages our entire lives so far. The movie sometimes forgets for her to look at her phone to read these text messages. So they come up with clever ways of showing us the messages sent on her phone, whether it's written on a bathroom wall, the glass in a restaurant, on the windows, on the floor, on the ceiling, across the table, across a drink. All these little intricate ways of purveying the message of what she's being texted. The problem inherent with that, she never looks at her phone during those messages, but she answers them without texting back, just her voice. I know, what new foul wizardry is this? What witchcraft on this phone does she have? I know. I need to have those abilities because, when I'm not looking at my phone and I receive a text, I know exactly what it says and I can answer that text by talking out loud. We're going to order pizza. And then I'm somewhere in the house, probably in the bathroom. I'm like, I think I got a text. I felt it. Yeah, dude, pizza sounds great. Okay, cool. I'll talk to you later. I haven't picked up my phone yet. I haven't texted back. That's not how texts work. That's not how cell phones work. But this movie wants you to believe that for these scenes when she's talking to the wall, washing her hands, or not even looking at her phone, she knows exactly what the texts say, and she can speak back to these texts out loud, and it answers these texts. How does it happen? I don't know. You don't know. They don't let you know. Is it really happening? We don't know. So the first plot is her doing all the tasks that this person on the phone tells her to do. I'm certain I've seen this somewhere before. I've seen this on I've seen this on Luther. I've seen this on NCIS. I've seen this on Law and Order, SVU, and regular Law and Order, and even Criminal Intent. I've seen that in the phone booth. I've seen this premise before. But no, this is a cell phone. It's completely different. Totally different. We're geniuses. We got you on this one. Okay. All right. Second plot. The second plot is there is a guy who takes pictures for the mayor who is also a rat for the FBI, and he has to be silenced before this court hearing comes up. Yeah, I've seen that before too. I've seen that before 1,000 different times, but not like this. Not in our movie. We're cerebral. We got this. Don't worry. You haven't seen it like this before. This is techie. All right. I'm game. I'll watch it. So how are we going to get to this guy? Well, we're going to hire a hitman. That hitman is going to find out where he's going on a date. Then we're going to find some random person in that restaurant, send them a text, and let them know that we will hurt their family if they don't do what we say. And we're going to have her kill him. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, 1 second. Time out. I have a problem with that plan. It's a blind date at random. How do we know where they're going to be? How do we know who he's going to date? How do we know she's even going to show up? Wait a minute. Let's go find her, because we know she's going to say yes. Let's dig into her life. Let's find out where she lives, because we have to frame her. But she's not important. Oh no, she's important. Why is she important? We'll reveal that in the end. Aha, that's the genius of it. We'll reveal that in our biggest twist yet. Wait till the end. Watch how it all unfolds. You're going to love it. All right. Okay. That seems wildly cataclysmic, but I'm sure it'll all work out in the end somehow. Random hitman who finds random girl who dates random guy to plot twist all of this scenario and making her kill him for us so she goes down for the murder, not us. Okay, and let's pull this off in the most busy restaurant, sophisticated with cameras, technology, rich clientele on one of the nicest buildings in this city. Oh, by the way, we have to make sure we read the weather. Contact weather. We got to get somebody contracted out to the Weather Channel and find out that there will be gale force winds on the... Hold on 1 second. They've got to be over 100 miles an hour to 200 miles an hour and whip around this building. But it's not a stormy night. No storms. Just the wind. The wind is absolutely treacherous. Okay. Wait a minute, but how does that fit in the story? I know what you're saying. Nah, man, we got it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Trust me, people are gonna love it. All right? And time back in. Action. Let's roll. We've got our movie. Hold on. Time out 1 second. I don't think people are gonna buy it. Like, that's way too convoluted of a plot. Like, she has nothing to do with him. He has nothing to do with her. And you're gonna wind them up. We're working for the mafia and hitmen. Can't we just take this guy out when he gets out of his car before he goes upstairs? There's nobody in the garage. It's a parkade structure. Can't we take him out there? Can't he have an accident on the roadway to the date? Can't we just have an alibi? I'm quite sure there's 1,000,000,001 ways that we could take this guy out. We chose this woman to blame her on this random date. And then we had to dig in and find out where she lives so that we could send henchmen to her house so that she's on board, all to frame her. But I thought we were trying to take him out. Yeah, but we want to blame her for the murder. That's completely mental, man. No, don't worry about it. Trust me. Trust me. You'll see how it all works out. Believe me. I got you. All right. Time in. Act 1 of the movie. She's at home with her son. And the babysitter comes in, and the babysitter is... well, let's just say she's a nouveau babysitter. And she has her go through dresses, and they go through the whole montage of the whimsy that this is going to be a blind date and she has to look sexy. I could say something, but I'm choosing not to out of taste and tact. Let's just say I would have preferred Leslie Mann to a Leslie Mann type of woman. But I doubt she would do a movie like this. I doubt she would take this role. By the way, I heard this movie had a budget of $11 million. That must have gone to all the digital CG of writing on walls, windows, glasses, dinner table napkins, and ceiling fans. That definitely. Oh, by the way, did I mention that everybody in this movie is from the world of John Wick? I just want to put that in there first of all. Everybody in this movie is from the world of John Wick. I'll tell you why later. That'll come in later. Hold that thought. Action. Let's keep going. So she gets to the place and somebody bumps into her. And now we start with the trope. What is the trope? Well, that everybody in this restaurant is a bad person. Has something to hide. The camera zooms into their face. They're doing nefarious things. They're looking over their shoulders. They're wiping out glasses. They're talking on the phone. You know, all the things that prove that everybody in this movie is a killer. She bumps into somebody. Hey, wait a minute. That was the dude from the opening credits, wasn't it? The mysterious music made me believe that. What was with the horror trope? You just bumped into somebody in a restaurant. It happens. But okay. That's the red herring to let you believe this man is involved. That lady is involved. That little kid in the corner is involved. That dog at that table eating a rib bone underneath the table is involved. I don't know how, but he's involved. And that's where the story starts to break down. Because everybody they introduce, they want you to believe has something to do with it. It's a red herring. We've seen this before in better movies, and they've done it so much. Like, take a page out of Clue. Watch Clue. Watch Death on the Nile. Watch. There's so many things you could watch to come up with a better convoluted plan of making everybody a red herring. Wasn't buying it. Saw through it immediately. So, anyway. She sees this guy at the bar because she's waiting for him to show up because he's not there yet. And she sees this other guy who comes to try to talk to her of gray hair. Now, we've already had a throwback Leslie Mann. Well, the throwback Josh Hartnett hasn't shown up yet, but it's throwback Josh Hartnett. Then this man who's talking to her, he's a throwback Michael Douglas. I want you to believe he's a throwback Michael Douglas. If I literally told you to go watch Ant-Man to see what Pym looks like in his house, it's an exact copy of this guy. Down to the exact clothing. Couldn't get Michael Douglas, would do Michael Douglas-esque. And that's what kind of makes me angry, is that every actor and actress in this movie is just 1 degree separation from the actor or actress that you're thinking in your head. And you'll get it. If you ever get a chance to watch this, and I don't recommend it, but if you do, every time you see somebody, you're like, I think I know this person. You don't. It's who you're thinking about, but it's not them. Now, the person who did the casting, brilliant idea. We couldn't get those stars, but if we got just close enough to them, it'll get the point across. Having said that, She meets her actual date. They go to the table, and she begins to get these weird, not Apple drop, because Apple's not involved, neither is Samsung. She gets these weird drop messages that are telling her things. Now, this is where the story takes an unprecedented turn, because her date knows about this app, knows everything about this app, and he proceeds to take out his phone because he has a tracker, and he decides, I'm going to walk around and track this message because somebody is crank calling you. I know what you're thinking. He's involved. No, it's another red herring, I'm afraid. This movie plays fast and loose with making almost everybody a suspect, that it's not even done cleverly. At a certain point, I just got tired of you trying to make everybody a suspect. I got news for you. The waiter, there's no waiter on earth I've ever had in my entire life like him, as annoying as him. I've never in my entire life, and believe it or not, I would rather watch a movie about this waiter waiting on tables all night long than I'd rather watch the plot of this movie, one of the several plots of this movie, because quite frankly, the waiter, though being completely annoying, was probably more entertaining. I'd probably watch him, the bartender, and the patrons of this restaurant more than I would watch this movie again. And that says a lot. I found them more interesting than the main characters. And if you're wondering, is it suspenseful? Is it dramatic? Because the commercial, the trailer you saw, showed all action, suspense, and drama, intrigue. No, I'm sorry. This movie, the entire movie is about them talking on a date. The entire movie. Literally, the only action in this movie is in the last 10 minutes of it. So the whole entire movie, you're expecting intrigue, you're expecting violence and drama and fights and cell phones and people jumping and being thrown through walls. That does not happen. I'm sorry, it does not. You're going to sit here and watch her get drops, try to be clever and outthink the killer. We assume he's a killer because, you know, we've seen 1,000 movies like this. That's why we assume he's a killer. And the guy at the table, every chance they get, they want you to believe that this guy, who is the most patient man I've ever seen in my entire life. First of all, we've all been on dates. If you haven't, you're not missing much, but we've all been on dates. The amount of trouble, dodging, and game playing from this chick would have ended the date an hour and a half ago. The only reason why he sticks to the end of this date is because the script tells him to. Let me tell you something. If you're on a date with me, first of all, every 5 minutes, if you're looking at your phone, after 10 minutes, I'm like, yo, is some other dude texting you? Like, okay, if you clearly want to date him, then go be with him. Oh, no, I'm fine. Tell me about yourself. No, tell me about every 5 minutes while you keep picking up your damn phone, while you excusing yourself to the bathroom. Which date excused himself from the table, both of them, like 27 times. Another date ender almost immediately. If you excuse yourself more than 5 times from my table, when you go to that bathroom or wherever the hell you going and come back, you're going to find an empty table, because I'm going. Now, if he checks out and leaves because this chick is a horrible date, end of movie, end of plot. But why does he stay? Because the script tells him to. Any normal human being would have been out. Outski, literally gone an hour ago. But the plot thickens. So as she's getting these ridiculous requests and going through all these extravagant ways to try to call the cops and notify people that she's having a problem, people literally come up to her and ask her, is there a problem? Do you have an issue? Do you want me to end the date? Do you want me to call the cops? Do you want me to do this and do that? She takes none of that help. None of it. Because this guy can see everything. He knows everything. I don't know how. You know how he sees everything and knows everything? Because he's watching you. Which she completely looks around at everybody in the restaurant 12 times. Except for the 2 people on the left and the right of her. Which we see all night. They play with their food. They never eat anything. And this is a pet peeve of mine lately that I've noticed in a lot of movies and TV shows. When you're in a diner or an eating establishment, the main actors and actresses need to talk, not the people in the background. If you're an extra and there's food on the table, eat the food. Is there something wrong with you eating the food? Pretending to eat the food and pretending to fake talk with people, at least if you're not going to get paid the center stage rate, you could get a good meal out of it. Eat the food. There's so many actors and actresses that really eat the food on these movies and sets because they're hungry and because it's there. So we literally watched two couples on either side of them play with their food and mime talking for over an hour. And it's frustratingly harmful to my soul that none of them ate anything at all in a restaurant, which is probably about a good $1,000 a plate restaurant. Has to be with everything they're purveying in this restaurant. But anyway, so she's told she has to take him out. If she doesn't take him out, they're going to take her son out. Dun, dun, dun! There's a killer in the house. Why haven't you checked the children? Now, the funny part is, in the first phone call of this movie, at the very beginning, 10 minutes in, 20, maybe 25 minutes in, she gets a phone call, weird message on the phone, right? Weird message on the phone. I said to the nightmare creature, why haven't you checked the children? Referring back to when a stranger calls, who called the house where the person was babysitting. Why haven't you checked the children? Because the killer's in the house. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When I said that, I did not know the plot of this movie yet. And guess what? 100% right. See through you, I can. I was 100% right because there's a killer in the house with the babysitter all along. How he got in, we don't know. When he got in, we don't know. Why he's there, we don't know, because she really doesn't have any plot to the point of the mafia taking out an informant. It doesn't make sense. It's so convoluted and so extravagant. I don't think no mob or mafia member in the world would go to this extent, because there's too many loose ends. There's too many ends that have to be tightened up. You're bringing extra amount of danger and problems in to silence one problem that you could have literally taken out anytime, anywhere you wanted. Like, why would you wait till it's so public of a domain with so many people and so many cameras, so many cell phones, so many elements that can literally link your boy to this problem? I didn't get it. Completely didn't get it. Anyway, the movie follows her around back and forth, excusing herself from the table 71 times, to figure out ways to think she's smarter than this guy so that she can, save her son, who she couldn't save because she was in an abused relationship in the beginning, because men are evil. Men are always evil. And then the guy at the table, who's the most patient man in the world, tries to end the date 4 times, but he never really wants to end it, because she's the bomb and she's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen in his entire life. Okay. The movie wants us to believe this. Everybody else would have ended the date hours ago, but no. And I know what you're thinking. Is there like gunshots in a restaurant? Do people go through? No, not until the end of the movie. This entire time, it just it relies on this cat and mouse game that the camera pans to people. Could they be the killer? Could they be the one talking to her on the phone? Probably. Then there's an even scene where they're looking over the shoulders of the main actress and a bar patron, where he's literally looking at porn on his phone, out in the open in front of thousands of people on his phone. Yeah, bro, if you're looking for a date, pretty sure you're not going to get one with the view on your phone of Pornhub. Nobody's going to go that route, man. I'm sorry, man. You could have waited till home when you was there, went on TikTok and scrolled. There's beautiful people on TikTok. You could have went to YouTube, watched some clips or something. Dude, you could watch friggin' the elders react. There's so many things you could watch on your phone. It just disturbed me that they focused in on that. But why did they focus in on that? Because they wanted you to believe that that person could not be the killer. Because on their phone, they're watching porn. Okay, whatever. She meets a bunch of girls in the bathroom and she tries to write them a coded message, but he knows somehow. No cameras in the bathroom. No microphones in the bathroom. Her cell phone is literally pointed down. yet he knows what she's doing in the bathroom, away from viewing eyes, away from cameras, with nobody working for him. But he knows what she's doing in the bathroom. He knows what she's writing in the bathroom with the cell phone not being out. He knows that she's writing with lipstick on a piece of napkin or paper. He knows this. He just knows. How? They never tell you, because the script says so. Once again, because the script says so, it's law. There you go. So when you have these things that you come across it where you're like, that doesn't make sense, remember, the script says so. So it makes sense. That's right. So anyway, I'm going to fast forward through the same thing over and over and over again with as many people as they could possibly put on here. They change seats, change tables, come back to the table, you know, and she begins to figure out this and that, and then she fixates on the wrong person, and basically he wants her to poison the date. She finally figures out, hey, I want to check this guy out. Let me go over and check him out. And guess what? It ends up being him. He doesn't try to deny it. He doesn't try to hide it, because the end of the movie says we're coming down to the end of the movie. It's the big reveal. No, it's not. It's not. So as she talks to him, he tells her the plot, because all henchmen have to tell you the plot of why they're there and what they're doing. Here's a great thing. You work for the mafia. Why would you tell her who you want to take the downfall for this and go to court and testify and tell many stories, everything about your plot? Why would you tell her that? I don't know why the bad guys feel the need to exposit their entire plot scenario when they're caught at the end of the dastardly deed. Got to tell you everything from point A to point B. This is why I did it. This is who I'm working for. We got to lay it out for the audience. That's why he's saying it. So that the people in the audience who couldn't follow along now know what it's all about. Problem is what it's all about has nothing to do with her. I would like this movie better if you had a clip or showed flashbacks of them cloning the phones, watching the dating apps, finding out who was linking up with who, and then digging into her background, showing us old newspaper listings, him talking to the mob and mafia, you know, to explain these things, except for the bad guy explaining all these things of the most ludicrous plan in history to try to take out an informant. I'm sorry. I know mathematicians and quadratic equations that are easier to solve than the plot of you involving her to take out a mafia informant to be the fall guy. What? Come on, bro. Come on. Anyways, she ends up poisoning him, which, here's another thing. When they've been showing the tables of everybody in this restaurant the entire movie, the one time they don't show the table is because you know something is going down. Literally. So she reveals her backstory to him as he reveals his backstory to her, the bad guy. And then, dun, 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 here comes her date over to the table. Because, you know, if I've been on a date where you've been leaving me all night talking on the phone, excusing yourself 37 times, and then I see you sitting with some random dude over in the corner, oh yeah, I'm going to come over there and confront you to see what's going on. No, I'm walking the hell out. Like, I'm stiffing you, I'm leaving you with the bill, I'm bouncing. No, I'm not walking over to the table. But the script says so, so he does. So he comes over to the table where she has poisoned the tequila. She clearly drank one of them because she knows which tequila she drank from and which one she poisoned. By the way, they show this vial of poison 30 million times. But when it comes time for her to pour it in the drinks, the camera conveniently pans from the table, not showing which one is tainted. The reason why they're doing that is because she didn't taint it. It's the Princess Bride all over again. What do you think? I'm a Sicilian. And I know the type of person you are, and clearly the type of person you are would be the type of person that would think that you're better than me, so I clearly cannot drink the drink in front of me. But me knowing that I know that you know, and you know that I know that you know the type of person you are, that I clearly cannot drink the drink in front of you. Stop stalling. No, never get involved with murder and tales with a Sicilian involved. I paraphrase that whole thing. You get the scene I'm talking about with the poison in the 2 drinks. So we knew from the table she didn't pour it in a drink, 100%. So they do this whole intrigue music and suspense music when he's getting ready to drink the drink, because that's the only way she can save her son, even though he told her the plot that she's going down for this. Okay. So the guy drinks the drink, and they're not showing the table. They're not showing nothing but the chest up. This entire movie, they've been literally showing the table, the top-down view, the side view. All the tables have all been in view, but for this point, you don't see anything. And he offers her a dessert. The killer offers her a dessert. Well, the framer, killer, offers her a dessert. And she leaves it on the table. And I'm like, they're not showing the table because she put the poison in the dessert. And she's going to get him to eat it. I've never seen this movie before. Guess what? It's exactly what happens. There has been so many times where something happened in this movie where I'm like, you know what? This happened. And then they reveal it and I'm like, it's exactly what I knew happened. Like, where is your intrigue? Where is the twist? Where is the hiding? Because as clearly as clever as you thought you were being, you were unveiling everything as it went along. And the problem is that we've all seen these movies 1,000 times. So your audience is smarter. If you want to change something and do a twist, then don't have your audience see it coming the entire time. I could see this thing coming like I was standing on a train track that was 10 miles long and I see smoke in the distance and know that there's a train coming. Like I knew there was a train coming. I saw it the entire time. So, of course, when they didn't show the table, I'm like, something's up with the dessert. So after she gets the guy to drink the tequila, and she's like, just give me a moment, I'll be over there in a second. And he waits on her with another dude who she introduces as a friend. Bro, no, this is the most patient date on the face of this planet. Because, I'm sorry, I saw 51 times where the date could have ended on my part because of what she did, and he clearly didn't do it. Why? Because the script said so. That's right. So when he walks away, she's sitting there with the killer, and she was like, it's over now. So he calls and acts like he stops it, but he doesn't, because there's more to this. There has to be an end to this, and of course there is. So he takes back his dessert and was like, well, at least, I can have my cake and eat it too, or some line like that. And he starts eating the dessert. And as he's eating the dessert, she's talking about her relationship and how she was abused and what she went through and all the time she went through it. And I'm like, as clearly as clever as you think you guys are, I know she did poison his dessert. Which is funny because when the poison reacted on the guy who played the piano, it was almost instantaneously. But of course for the killer, it doesn't work the same way. So of course she reveals that she poured the poison in his dessert and not the drink to the guy. So the date is okay, but the killer is gonna die. Which, of course, now that he knows the jig is up because she told him, she could have just walked away and let him die and not know. But of course, because, the plot needed to plot, he stands up and tries to shoot her, and then that's where everything jumps off, and that's when everybody starts. That's where the only action in this movie starts. He tries to kill her. She jumps over. Now, I've seen this trope probably 17 times in the past 5 years. When somebody has a gun and they're going to shoot you and you're the hero and you want to save the person in front of that bullet, you can run and tackle them and fall off out of the path. You can run and grab them and fall back off the path. You can run and jump in front of them and block the bullet. There's so many precise ways to do this, yet every person that does it in the movies that I've seen and TV shows, they all do it wrong. I'm gonna grab you and pull you this way so I get powed for you. Civil War was probably the worst. The end of Civil War is probably the worst when you killed the main character off. That's probably the worst I've ever seen it done before, where she dives and pushes the girl out of the way. She literally grabs her, throws her down, and then bends over her and starts shouting like, "You don't do blah, 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 blah. Ugh, I'm shot." Why didn't you fall with her? Clearly out of harm's way. Because the script said so. So anyway, with the waitress being stabbed, people being shot, she ends up fighting with this guy and getting the upper hand somehow. And he tries to shoot at her. He shoots a hole in the window. Now this is where that windstorm that I told you about comes into play. This building is not 50,000 stories high. It's not 30,000 feet high. It's not one of the tallest buildings in the world. It is a normal, basically office type like building with a restaurant on the higher floors. It's not the Space Needle, but the crack standing behind the killer, I said, oh, she's going to run and tackle him, or somebody's going to run and tackle him. The shot date is going to run and tackle him and go through this glass, because she clearly picks up something and she throws it at the bullet hole to crack the glass more. And he looks at it instead of shooting her, because all the people do this, all the bad guys do this. Instead of taking somebody out, they pause to look behind them to say, yeah, no. If you threw it and I dodged it or missed, pow, pow, game over. But no, the script doesn't call for that. The script calls for you to go, now, any last words? Then you throw something behind me and I'm like, what was that? Oh, it cracked the glass. Oh, that was mildly eventful. But now, you're gonna get it. The glass breaks, I swear to you. The glass breaks behind him. And he gets sucked out of the window like a vortex, like you're on a plane at 30,000 feet and somebody just shot out a window. The suction on this building, this is an office building. Now remember, this is an office building. People get on dollies and clean the windows. They squeegee and spray and scrub on this building all the time. It's clearly not the biggest building in the world, not the tallest building in the world by any imagination, but there's so much wind and air pressure that when the glass breaks, it sucks him out, pulling him and her out the window like they're on a plane at 30,000 feet. And I don't know why we're supposed to buy it, because the script says so. That's why. But when that happened, I had to pause it and I was like, wait, what? Physics? Where's the physics? It's a window. It's like 14 flights up. What? Yeah, I know. It's not even the most unbelievable thing yet in this movie, but the sucking of the vortex of them being pulled out, and I'm like, oh, okay, that happened. And she's hanging on to a dinner napkin, clearly because she works out and she bench presses, 450,000 pounds, that she can hold on to this dinner napkin with one arm while the sucking wind is sucking against her and she's spiraling around back and forth. She goes to one hand to two hand to one hand because, she's Sigourney Weaver from Aliens, and she's literally holding on by an elbow, and then she's got to climb up with all that power to get up there. And just as the dinner napkin rips, the guy grabs her. No, I know, nobody else in the restaurant. Everybody else cleared out. They're gone. Everybody else is gone. There's nobody left in the restaurant at all but the man who was shot, who grabs it at the last second. And she pulls herself up and he pulls, take my hand, and pulls her up. And I'm like, okay, of course. So he pulls her up. He falls back. He's like, I'm dying. And she's like, where's your phone? Let me see your phone. I gotta go. Where's your car? Give me your keys. And he gives her his car and his keys while he's sitting there dying. And she's like, call the police. Okay, you could too, as well. She goes down and finds the car. Now she's in a race to make it back home, weaving and bobbing through traffic and traffic jams and signs the entire time. And here comes one of those another unbelievable moments. Now the babysitter has come to and heard the phone because she was drugged and knocked out. Sure. And she picks up the phone and she's saying, he's right behind you. Now I want to mind you, the main protagonist is driving Beep, beep, get out of the way. She's not touching the phone. She's not looking at the phone. She just called the babysitter, and the babysitter's face and name is up on the phone. He's right behind you. Now all of a sudden, the app on the phone is open, the camera is pulled up, and she's staring somehow at the killer standing behind the babysitter with a gun while she's driving with both hands. Why? Because the script said so. Because I was like, phones don't... Wait, what? Exactly. So many unbelievable moments where I'm just like, they asked the audience to be like, yeah, just believe it. Just go there. And I'm like, okay, I'll go there. Sure. Now, the guy has a message that he left before he got sucked out of the window to kill them both. So the killer in the house literally is there to kill both of them. He finds the babysitter, and could he do it? No. I'm just going to body slam her across the wall, body slam her on a table, punch her, kick her a few times. Yeah, I know what you're asking. Yeah, he still has the pew pew. He still has it, but he chooses not to use it because he wants to beat up the babysitter. The dude gave you the green light to take both of them out. Why are you... Wait a minute, what? Yeah, another one of those moments. So anyway, she manages somehow to get behind the robber, because the kid comes around a corner and the guy has the pew pew on the kid. Now, I want to remind you right now that he was sent there to take this kid out. He got the green light to take the kid out. He has the kid dead bang. And if this was a Stephen King movie, that kid would be dead as fried chicken. But since, this is a Blumhouse movie, we don't explain how she gets behind the killer or why the killer doesn't shoot the kid, because he's there to shoot the kid. He got the green light to shoot the kid. That's clearly what he's doing now to get the hell out of Dodge. But he doesn't do it for some reason. It's not because he had an attack of conscience. He just doesn't do it. And she has this moment to be behind the killer, the element of surprise. She's got knives and butcher knives to her right. She's got a ginormous rock vase thing on her left. What do you think she uses to attack the killer? Oh, let me pick that thin piece of crystal glass. And she smashes him in the back of the head, tells the kid to run, and then she runs off. Now, she clearly is standing next to knives, a big rock statue. The guy dropped the gun. She could take him out and end the conflict and be the winner right now, right here. She could definitely do it. But the script doesn't say so. So she runs upstairs and barricades herself in a room with the kid and stands in front of the door. He has one of those, right? And your plan is to stand in front of the door with a dresser where he could... What? Exactly. So, of course, he shoots through the door when he realizes he can, because the script says so, and breaks through the room. He has the hand with the gun. She bites the hand. He drops the gun. She could literally run over and pick up the gun all in one move. Dive, grab, pow, pow, movie over. This is the second time. She turns her back to the door and the killer coming in to go get the gun, totally turning her back on the killer. Grabs the gun off the ground and slowly turns around, giving him the advantage. Again, because the script says so. And he KOs her. Now, remember, he's there to kill them. He picks up the gun. He shoots her in the chest, but this is a movie faux pas, so she's not dead. Because it turns out later, the bullet that we saw directly to the chest only hit her in the arm. You know, because we mistook where the arm and the chest was. You know, continuity error. Okay. He then points the gun at the boy and refuses to shoot. He doesn't shoot. He's there to kill her and the child. Doesn't shoot. He hears a car instead. Now, the entire time she's driving, she can look in cameras and pull up scrolls and check Google Mail and everything else. But she doesn't call the cops. Not once. Not once. She even rides by some cops. Does she stop and flag them down? Would it took her no time? No. Doesn't happen. She has no weapon, no martial arts training. She's not a spy from MI6. She had no plan when she ran home. So, of course, she runs home. He stops because for some reason he doesn't take them out. The babysitter and the kid are both gone, but they're not because script says so. She busts through the door and he shoots at her because she had no plan. She's not Arnold. She's not from MI6. She didn't think. She just busts through the door. How can I remind you that you and them are as dead as fried chicken right now? But script doesn't say so. So she plays cat and mouse with this burglar / hitman who's not much of a hitman nor a burglar, and manages to get the upper hand on him after he beats her up to kicks her on the ground. Now, remind you, he's there to kill, yet he chooses not to kill at every single last corner. Disturbs me more than you ever believe. Now, at this point, I had already checked out. I was already done. I just wanted to watch it in. So, with the babysitter shot, the kid takes a remote control because this is what he thinks about when his life is on danger. He just sees his babysitter shot. He knows there's a killer in the house. He takes his remote control car and drives the gun to his mom's aid. She picks up the gun because the killer, who's going to kill her, stops and looks at the remote control car. He doesn't go ahead and kill her. He stops again. This is the 5th time he stopped in the middle of being a killer because he's a killer and he's contracted to kill because that's what he does. He's a killer. He refuses to kill again. And he looks and watches the little toy truck drive all the way over to her and then realizes there's a gun in the back of the toy truck, to where she takes it and shoots him a couple of times. End of movie. Oh, by the way, the mask gets pulled off the killer in the house and dun, dun, dun! We don't know who the hell he is. Doesn't matter. Why the big reveal on his face if he doesn't matter? Why? Make it be the ex-husband. Make it be the dude in the restaurant. Make it be the waiter. No. Not at all. So then they pantomime to him being the guy being in the hospital and her bringing him burgers. But of course, she's the last person he wants to see. And she walks in there, she's laughing. And everybody's telling jokes. I've been shot, Thank you for saving my life. And then the killer texts her again, which is another red herring because it's her friend around the corner using the killer's app. Like, this woman hasn't been through enough. She's been texted through this app of murdering her babysitter, her child, and her friend, the babysitter, chooses this time to impart a joke using that app to say we're still not done. And then she comes walking around the corner. It's a joke. And then the girl, main actress who went through all this trauma, you're so stupid. You were shot. I was shot. There's dead bodies everywhere. This dude trying to kill us. It's a great thing. Let's eat some burgers and roll the credits. I wish I could be joking with you, but that's the exact ending of this movie. And I couldn't be more happy to see it end. This movie is what's wrong with the movie industry today. Not knowing how to tell a story, being so transparent with every single last twist that you make that all of us who've seen the twist 1,000 times before can see everything coming a mile away, and then not knowing how to end your movie. From the producers of Happy Death Day, A Quiet Place, and Megan, I don't think so. Sorry, I don't think so. So then I thought, well, at least it ended, and I'm happy it ended, but I'm going to roast this. I need to do a movie review, which I'm doing right now. And if you're wondering what I rate this movie on the scale of 24K awesomeness, this is straight up copper. This is that rusty penny that you find near a storm drain on a rainy day, and it's all green and gunky and you can't read nothing on it. That is the rating I give Drop 2025. I'm not going to remember it. I don't even want to see it. I hated even talking about it. But there's a couple hours of my life that I can't get back that I wasted on Drop 2025. But as they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So ladies and gentlemen, Drop 2025. Don't see it. Don't watch it. Don't stream it. Don't accidentally come across it and be like, oh, this looks good, because it's not. There are clearly better movies, better endeavors out there, and I am completely numb in my brain that this is what the movie industry has come to. It's what's wrong with everything in the movie industry. Like, there are moments of this movie where you can see a better movie underneath it. Oh, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Oh, that would have been brilliant. Oh, this would have been brilliant. Oh, that would have been amazing. But they don't go there. They stay at face value. They stay transparent in a convoluted plot that only a mathematician from the 14th century could solve. And then they sew it all together in the end and feed you a crap sandwich that you're supposed to eat. Well, unfortunately, mate, I'm not eating that crap sandwich. No. I'm not eating that Vegemite sandwich. No. No, sir. It was absolutely fuck all. And I say no. Absolutely not, bruv. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that accent is bad as this movie is. So from 24K, movies, TV shows, and video game reviews, thank you for joining me for my speak on the movie Drop 2025. Don't waste your time. Until next time, I'll see you guys from 24K. It's your boy, the Game Ninja. Thank you for jamming with me. I have the Ring of Power around the neck. I have the Infinity Stones. And we gonna go home. We out.